What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 60, and we start today's episode off with some player training. Is it really a Doc's Career Mode episode if we don't start off with player training? Every Career Mode episode, we gotta start off with player training. And I'm gonna offer you guys a treat today as well. Of course, this is the first episode of Season 4, a brand new season begins today. Normally, I only do double upload days for Career Mode on the weekend. However, as we begin a new season, I felt like treating you guys. Get this video to 1,000 likes. We'll have the next episode up later tonight featuring the first game of Season 4 in the Premier League. So there's your challenge, guys. 1,000 likes. I'll do 3 consecutive double upload days of Career Mode. Let's keep the streak going. So 1,000 likes, I'll put up the next episode later on tonight here on Monday evening. So yeah, today we are beginning Season 4 with Sheffield United, where as we know there is European football at Bramwell Lane for the first time this season after succeeding our objectives last season, finishing in 5th place in the Europa League spot. The board said they could not be happier with my performance, and I was like, bloody hell, damn right, mate. Seriously, you barely gave us any money in the first 3 seasons. In Season 4, we're in the Europa League. So as Season 4 officially begins with Sheffield United, we see the email here. The transfer window is now open, but the question is, how much money would we have to play within the summer transfer window after 3 consecutive seasons with basically no money whatsoever? Well, as you can see, the board this season have decided to be generous and reward us after an amazing season last year and give us £70 million in our transfer budget. Now that is, to put it into perspective, I believe about the same amount as our first 3 seasons combined. A lot of money for Season 4 in our transfer budget, £70 million. With wage budget alteration, it might be a little bit less, around £65 million, but either way, a big budget. However, what comes with a big budget? Big objectives from the board. Look at our objectives for Season 4. The board have said you can have your £70 million, but you've got to deliver on the pitch. In the Europa League, in our first ever season in Europe, we've got to reach the semi-finals of the Europa League in our first season with Sheffield United. What a tough ask of the board in the first season. I think definitely doable, no doubt about it. It's going to be tough, no doubt whatsoever, but domestically, this is where it's really tough. Reached around a 16 in the FA Cup, more than doable, done that past 3 seasons, but Premier League, finish in a Champions League place, finish in the top 4 in Season 4? Really? I mean, I know last season we only missed out on it with 2 games to spare, but really? Really? Finish in the top 4? Sorry, board, but you do know the teams we're coming up against for this season, right? You want us to take out 3 teams out of Manchester City, Spurs, Liverpool, Manchester United, Arsenal and Chelsea. You think we're good enough to take out 3 of those teams and finish in 4th place? Really? I mean, really? I mean, well, to be fair, last season, I didn't think we were good enough to finish in 5th place, and we did. I mean, of course, we did it on the final day, but either way, we still managed to do it, although it was, of course, an incredibly tough season. You know, last season, we didn't waltz to a Europa League spot. We did it through grit and determination, a bit of luck along the way, and obviously just about doing it by the skin of our teeth on the final day. But top 4 is different, man. I mean, you know, finishing in the 5th or 6th place is doable with the Sheffield United side, no doubt about it. There's no reason why we couldn't finish in the Europa League spot once again. But 4th place, I mean, that is a lot to ask for Season 4. Now, you know, after last season, I think we could do it. No doubt about it. We had a great season last year, and the team is getting better year after year. You can see as we go through the squad hub here. And you'll see our lineup in just a moment's time as well. This is a good Sheffield United side. It's the best side we've had so far. No pre-contract signings from last year, so the same side we had last year this year. Obviously, as we know, Ivan Toney last year was a beast, 40 goals in the Premier League. DCL was a great strike partner for him as well, 18 goals. So we scored loads of goals last year, 70 plus in the Premier League. That's not going to be a problem for us. But I don't know if we've got the quality to take out 3 of those 6 teams there and finish in 4th place. I really, really don't. So heading into the new season, my first order of business was this: tie down a few players with their contracts up come the end of the year. First player was Jack O'Connell. I discussed him last season. I did want to keep him here. He's now 28 years old, but 79 rated, one of our best centre-backs here. I didn't want him to take a wage increase, and in the end he agreed a £1,000 a week extra wage increase, which isn't much to be fair. So £24,500 a week for Jack O'Connell as he agrees a new 3-year deal. And Oliver McBurney, 79 rated striker, 26 years old. He also agrees a new 3-year deal here at Sheffield United. Both players, their contracts up coming the end of the season. They are staying. McBurney gets a bigger wage increase, but either way, O'Connell and McBurney, both regular members of our first team squad, they are staying for an extra 3 years here at Bramwell Lane. So as you take a look at our squad heading into season 4, it's decent, it's good, it's a Europa League squad. I mean, that's what you call this Sheffield United team, isn't it? It's a Europa League squad. It's not the team we had back in season 1 where we were, sort of I'll probably say a bottom half team, if you will, in terms of rating. It's a Europa League squad now. I think really from here on out we should be at least playing, at the very least, Europa League football season after season. And as you see, the teams that got promoted this year, Huddersfield Huddersfield got automatically promoted, or did they win the playoffs? Can't remember now, but Huddersfield are up anyway, alongside Bournemouth as well. And also a look at the Europa League as well. We're not in the qualifiers, of course, due to finishing 5th place. We do guarantee a Europa League group stage spot for this season. So that's great to know. We won't need to play a qualifier to get through. We're going straight into the group stages. But it's a Europa League squad, this Sheffield United side. It's not a Champions League squad, it's a Europa League squad. However, being in Europa League this year and needing to finish in the semi-finals of the Europa League for our first ever season in Europe, looking at our squad and going down the list, I was thinking to myself, what position needs strengthening? Well, in my opinion, the central midfield role, definitely. Right now, it's Barry Walsh, Davy Prupper and Eze who came in January. Now, Eze only arrived a few months ago in January, so he needs still some time to settle into the squad despite starting off really strong. Davy Prupper's now 30 years old and 76 overall, still coming off of that ACL he suffered at the start of last season. And of course, Barry Walsh is only 18 years old. I thought to myself, we're going to need a new central midfielder this year. With Norwood and Fleck likely to leave in the summer window, we're going to need a class central midfielder, and I wanted someone with medium-high work rate, high energy, good physicality, and decent stats on the ball as well. So I had 4 names on my shortlist. We had Isaac Hayden of Newcastle United, once of Arsenal. We had Hamza Chowdhury of Leicester City, who we agreed a £15 million deal with Newcastle a £20 million deal plus 10% sell-on clause with Isaac Hayden. And the other 2 were the best 2. Wilfred Ndidi, also of Leicester City. We agreed a £32 million deal with the Foxes, and also Declan Rice, the former West Ham man, now playing out in Germany for Frankfurt. 4 very good midfielders. Ndidi the highest rated at 84, but the second oldest at 25. Hayden the oldest at 27, but very good stats on the Newcastle midfield with a solid player trait as well. Chowdhury the lowest rated, but still pretty decent at 24 years old and 80 overall, and the cheapest at £15 million. And Declan Rice the most expensive, but you'd probably say the best player out of the pack for potential. But I thought to myself, we got £70 million this year, and normally in the first 3 years would be a little bit cheap with the players we look to sign, and therefore I'll go for Hamza Chowdhury or Isaac Hayden, who were the cheaper deals. But this year we've got £70 million in the budget, and therefore I thought, why don't we go for class this year? Why don't we splash the cash? Why don't we make a club record signing and bring in a new beast for our middle of the park? And I got it down to the 2 names here, Wilfred Ndidi or Declan Rice. And as I compared the 2 stats here, I got to be honest, I spent about 10 minutes comparing the stats of both players. To me, looking at both players are very good. Declan Rice seems very comfortable on the ball for such a young man, 23 years old. He's a very good talent playing for West Ham. I'll be the first to admit it despite being a Millwall fan. He's a very good player. He's 6'1", medium-high work rates, can play centre-back as well. But Wilfred Ndidi, anyone that's watched Leicester play in real life this year will tell you, this guy is a straight-up beast. I mean, this guy is an absolute beast. Wilfred Ndidi is a joy to watch, and he is a key reason why Leicester City this season have played so well under Brendan Rodgers. And I'm such a huge fan of his game. He's a pure athlete, Wilfred Ndidi. He is quick, he is strong, he's got balance, he's got agility, he's got stamina for days. 94 stamina for Wilfred Ndidi, and technically as well, he's very comfortable on the ball. He's an interception king, he's aggressive as well, and whilst he was 2 years older than Declan Rice, he's 1 rating higher. And when I compared the stats of the 2 players, it was Ndidi who to me jumped out at me and said, sign me, pick me, I want to come here. Wilfred Ndidi signs and he becomes our new club record signing for £32 million. Look at his key stats: stamina 94, 91 jumping, 91 aggression, 88 stand tackle, 87 slide tackle, and Ndidi is in for £32 million. And when you look at his stats here as well, medium high work rates, 4-star weak foot, 3-star skill, he's physically an absolute monster, mentally as well, aggressive, composed on the ball, 85 interceptions, 81 ball control as well, so comfortable on the ball, a good passer as well. I mean, to me, this guy is such a great athlete, and he's exactly what we need for him in the park. Eze is quick. Walsh is great with the skill and the passing as well, but Ndidi was someone that's going to run around all game long, and that's what we were lacking in our midfield trio. Someone that's going to intercept passes, because Davy Prupper, listen, he's a great player, he's a great vet to have at 30 years old, but he's not the sort of player that's going to run around all game long, make interceptions and never get tired. He's 30 years old now. After the game, he has a nap. I want Wilfred Ndidi, someone after the game runs home as well. I love this guy. He's a pure athlete, and again, if you've watched Leicester City play in real life this year, in fact, I'll tell you what, I often go on statistic websites because I'm a bit of a stat head in real life, and I often go on two websites in particular, Transfer Market and also Who Scored. This isn't promo or sponsorship, you know I don't do that bollocks. This is just me praising two really good websites. Who Scored is a great website where you can take a look at the player stats, see their ratings and their interceptions per games, their tackles per game, shots per games, whatnot, just all the individual stats of the players. If you look at Wilfred Ndidi's stats this year for Leicester City, you'll see he's been an absolute monster. Anyone that's watched Leicester games this year will tell you he really is a brilliant player, and I could not be happy with the signing. £32 million takes out almost half of our budget to bring him in. 96 grand a week makes him our highest earner, but worth every single penny, no doubt about it. He is going to be a pure athlete in this team and a brilliant investment for the future. But also, John Fleck is off to Deportivo. We got a bid from the Spaniards here of £4 million, which we accepted. So farewell to John Fleck, and thank you for your service. He's been here all throughout the journey so far, but now at 30 years old, in the final year of his contract, he wasn't going to get much game time this season, especially after the new signing of Ndidi as well. We decided to let him go, and what a way for John Fleck to sign off as well. Get Sheffield United into European football for the first time ever, and then says, right, farewell lads, I'm off, and he's going to play his final few years as a professional footballer, earning like 20-25 grand a week, playing in Spain, soaking up the sun and keeping his body in check. That's the way I want to spend my 30s, earning like 25 grand a week, playing professional football in La Liga. What a great move for John Fleck for his final few years. And I'm glad we sorted out a move for him like that as well. Fleck deserves it. He's been a great, consistent player in our midfield throughout the first 3 years. And Fleck is off to Spain for £4 million. And following that as well, we do see that Ivan Toney extends his contract by a year here too at Bramwell Lane. Of course, he still has 3 years left on his deal, but as we know, Ivan Toney deserved a new contract. He was only on 14 grand a week, which is just stupidly low for a player of his ability. A new Premier League record last year, the first player and the only player in history to score 40 goals in a Premier League season. He deserved a big wage increase. We gave him one. We said to West Ham we put £40 million on the table for Ivan Toney. They came to my office with a briefcase, lifted it up, £40 million. I didn't even look at it. I just closed the lid, maintained eye contact with a representative and just said, sorry lads, he's not for sale. He stays here, extends his contract and gets a 50 grand a week 4-year deal, totally deserved. The shocker is going absolutely nowhere. We love Ivan Toney now, doing it on the international stage for England as well. He's staying here, he's going nowhere. But also the last thing we did is we signed a free agent. As I always say, check the free agents pool every year, lads. You might find a hidden gem. Rafael Eduardo Coutinho, a Brazilian holding mid. Sadly with low work rates, but 76 overall and some great physical stats on a free transfer. A good little bargain to pick up, and I'm pleased with that one. But that was today's episode of Career Mode, guys. Big thank you for watching. We hope you have enjoyed it. If you did enjoy today's episode, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and don't forget 1,000 likes, and I'll upload another episode of Career Mode later on tonight.